Today we are discussing Leopold of Austria, renowned for various reasons. One being his connection to the notorious Habsburg jewel. Opposite him is his spouse and relative who was simultaneously his niece, first cousin, and second cousin, Margarita Teresa of Spain. She is noted for being the sister of Charles II of Spain, who is widely considered the most inbred individual in recorded history. Both individuals in this couple belong to the Habsburg dynasty, indicating they were members of the same familial lineage, making the situation even more concerning genetically. Their parents also originated from the same family, as did their grandparents, and this pattern extended further back through their ancestry. Before examining the couple's own inbreeding, it's essential to clarify the complicated situation regarding their parents, beginning with Leopold of Austria. Leopold, alternatively referred to as Leopold of the Holy Roman Empire, was born in 1640. His parents were Ferdinand III of Austria and Maria Anna of Spain, who were also cousins and married. Leopold's parents are the primary cause of his own severe inbreeding. His father, Ferdinand III of Austria, was himself significantly inbred. Ferdinand's grandparents were Maria Anna of Bavaria and Charles II of Bavaria. Crucially, these grandparents were full siblings, sharing the same parents. Consequently, Ferdinand III was the grandchild of this sibling pair, meaning he inherited his genetic makeup from the same set of great-grandparents through both his mother and father. Examining Maria Anna of Bavaria, evidence of inbreeding is apparent as far back as the 1500s. Her facial expression in portraits is notably unpleasant. Resembling someone who has swallowed a wasp, Maria Anna of Bavaria bore many children. One daughter, Archduchess Gregoria, died at 16 years old due to genetic defects. She had facial and shoulder deformities, and her death is almost certainly attributable to inbreeding. Therefore, it's reasonable to conclude that Leopold's paternal lineage endured severe consequences from inbreeding, making it unsurprising that Leopold also suffered negative effects. Turning to the maternal side of Leopold's family, the genetic situation was hardly better. Leopold's mother was Maria Anna of Spain, who descended from a family exhibiting even greater inbreeding than her husband's. Maria Anna's father, Philip III of Spain, displayed the characteristic Habsburg jaw, a result of his own parents being an uncle-niece pair. Furthermore, a particularly unsettling fact is that Maria Anna's grandmother was Maria Anna of Bavaria, the exact same woman who was also the grandmother of Ferdinand III, whom Maria Anna subsequently married. This creates a disturbing overlap. Regrettably, Maria Anna's parents were also blood relatives. Her mother was Margaret of Austria, who was Philip III's second cousin. Due to the family's inbreeding, only 4 out of their 8 children lived to adulthood. One of these survivors was their heir, Philip IV of Spain. Margaret of Austria herself was inbred. Her paternal grandparents were also her maternal great-grandparents. Additionally, 2 of her great-grandparents also served as her great-great-grandparents. Numerous individuals have been introduced in this video so far. To assist in navigating this complex web of inbreeding, I can present this family tree diagram for clarity. Remember, our focal couple, Leopold and Margarita, are themselves inbred and are encircled by numerous other inbred relatives. Now, focusing specifically on the couple, Margarita Teresa of Spain, often called Margarita, was the daughter of Philip IV of Spain. As previously noted in this video, Philip IV was the brother of Maria Anna of Spain, who became Leopold of Austria's mother. However, the situation worsens because Margarita's mother is also genetically connected to Maria Anna of Spain. Maria Anna was not only Margarita's aunt, she was simultaneously her grandmother. This illustrates the chaotic nature of this family. Leopold had a sister named Maria Anna. She was compelled to marry her uncle, the aforementioned Philip IV of Spain, at just 15 years old. Their first child, Margarita, was born a year later. Margarita Teresa was born in 1651 from this avuncular marriage, a union between an uncle and a niece. She spent much of her childhood without siblings who lived past infancy, as her mother's later pregnancies produced severely inbred children who died young. In 1661, overcome with grief upon realizing her son was dying, Margarita's mother went into premature labor and gave birth to the future Charles II of Spain, one of history's most inbred individuals. Given this fact, and because Margarita was Charles II's full sister, Margarita herself must also rank among the most inbred people in history. Since her only surviving sibling, Charles II, was sickly, many anticipated Margarita would inherit the Spanish throne. If she married a non-Habsburg, the Habsburg dynasty would lose control of Spain after roughly 2 centuries of rule. The sole method to prevent this outcome was to compel Margarita to marry Leopold of Austria. Despite their multiple overlapping blood relationships, in 1666 a portrait of Margarita was dispatched to Austria for Leopold to decide if he wished to marry her. Their relationship, where she was simultaneously his niece, cousin-in-law, and second cousin, was disregarded. Upon viewing her portrait, he desired her. That year, Margarita, aged only 15, departed Madrid via Denia in southern Spain. She sailed to Genoa in northern Italy, then traveled onwards through Venice, finally reaching Vienna, Austria. She met her husband for the first time in December 1666, 6 months after leaving Madrid. Instead of allowing his new wife to recuperate after her half-year journey, Leopold immediately consummated the marriage. Margarita gave birth precisely 9 months later to a sickly son. Like her brother Charles II, Margarita was afflicted with poor health, including an enlarged thyroid. She frequently experienced homesickness and yearned for Spain. She remained largely isolated in her state apartments, attended solely by Spanish ladies-in-waiting. This isolation seemingly encouraged Leopold, who was reportedly deeply enamored with her, to repeatedly impregnate Margarita in the hope of producing a healthy heir. However, this likely only further deteriorated Margarita's health. Over the subsequent 6 years, before reaching the age of 22, Margarita became pregnant 7 times. 2 pregnancies resulted in miscarriages. Of the 4 children born alive, 3 died shortly after birth. She had only one surviving child, Maria Antonia. Historians assert Maria Antonia was one of the most inbred individuals ever to live in Europe. Her coefficient of inbreeding was actually higher than if her parents had been full siblings. The narrative of this extraordinarily inbred couple underscores the perils of inbreeding, particularly the persistent practice of intermarriage within royal families. While this case might represent one of the most extreme examples, it is neither the sole instance nor necessarily the most shocking one. And that concludes the story of Leopold and Margarita. If you liked this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Helps a lot with YouTube's system. Thanks for watching. More videos coming soon.